Hey guys! So, my first concert of 2020. Oh my god, it was great. It was epic. It was perfection. It was So, I don't know if you can tell, but I saw Steven Tyler perform live tonight. I'm only kidding. Or am I? No, I saw Alice Cooper perform live tonight. I'm so excited. This is actually my first ever Alice Cooper concert. Like, I've never been to one of his concerts before. I've seen them online, I've seen them on TV because I have a bunch of his concert DVDs. I've heard the live albums, but I've never actually been before. I know he came to Australia about a year or two ago, and he was originally supposed to be at the exhibition centre, which is down at South Brisbane, but then they changed venue like a couple of days before, and I had to cancel my plans and I had to refund my ticket because I couldn't make it anymore. But anyway, so today is, what is the date? It's now like midnight, so give me a sec. Oh, it is 2 midnight. Ha 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 ha. Cool. Okay, so let's go with yesterday. Yesterday was the 18th of February 2020, which was a Tuesday. Yesterday, it's gonna say weird. I hate these videos. I hate when it does a time jump. Anyway, so what was I saying? I don't know, let's go back to the beginning. So last year the tickets were on sale and I was like, okay, I don't care, this is Alice Cooper. I'm gonna go see him perform live. I'm gonna figure out how the hell to get to the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, which is an entertainment centre that I haven't been to in a long time, and it's normally something that I get driven to. My mum normally takes me, she normally comes with me to go see these things. I think the last time I went to the entertainment centre was probably when Britney Spears toured Australia, and that was back in 2009. Yeah. Unless you count all those ones where I had to attend children's concerts like the Wiggles, because I have younger siblings, but, you know. But that was still ages ago. So I was like, okay, this is Alice Cooper. I don't know how many more times he's coming to Australia. I do not want to miss this. You know, this is probably my once in a lifetime opportunity. Probably not really, but you know, his track record with coming down here, not the greatest. And so I was like, I'm buying tickets and then I'll figure out how to get there later. And I ended up figuring it out, which is actually really great because the hotel I'm staying at is actually a 45-minute train trip to the conventions, to the entertainment centre. So I'm like, sweet, I'm happy I figured it out, but I stressed out in the lead up to it. Even yesterday, I was like, okay, how am I doing this? I have class in the morning. Do I skip my second class? Do I go to both classes? Then do I go to Alice? No, I can't. So it was fun trying to figure out how to juggle Tuesday because I have classes now. I study now, so yeah. And I'm rambling, I'm sorry, my teachers keep calling me out on that. It's something I do a lot. Anyway, so I headed to the concert. I actually packed all my Alice Cooper t-shirts. I have 5, 6 shirts before yesterday, and I was like, I don't know which ones I'm gonna wear, so I'm gonna pack them all. But I wore Dragon Town, which I actually got from the Gold Coast, surprisingly. Anyway, that shop's now shut down, doesn't matter. Yeah, so I wore Dragon Town, which is pretty cool. But while I was there, it was weird. It's a weird experience. I don't know, because I'm so used to going to children's concerts, and I say children's concerts because, because the musician is usually targeted to younger audiences, like the 16s and unders. So I'm used to going to those type of concerts. But with Alice, this concert was really different. I got to the entertainment centre around 5, maybe 10 minutes before 5, and instead of people lining up like you normally would, and instead of people fighting over who's going to stand at the front of the line, there was probably about 30 people there. They were all just sitting and chilling. They were finding some spots in the shade, and they were away from the gates, and they were just zen. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, this is normal? Like, people aren't fighting over first in, first served thing? Like, I get it, we have allocated seating, but normally people are fighting over where to sit. Like, So it was very safe and sane. It was great. Even lining up when security was like, it's 5:30 guys, you can go line up now. Everyone was just like, oh yeah, we'll take our time. Like, no one ran. It was great. And then when they opened the gates so you could actually get into the centre, again, no one was running. Everyone was just like, yeah, cool, I'm gonna take my time. And when I got to the merchandise stand, even though there was a crowd of people coming, everyone was just like, yeah, we'll get there when we get there. And it's funny, I think this is also the first concert that I've noticed where merchandise stands open before and after. So I was like, oh, sweet. I already bought my merch, but sweet. There's still chaos. So during the day, I was keeping an eye on the band's Instagram. So you got Ryan's, you got Nita's, you got Glenn's, you got Chuck's, Alice, and you got Kyler. And I was trying to keep an eye on them because I was like, oh, you guys are staying, you know, where I'm staying, not the exact same hotel, I think. Though I'm trying to figure it out. I think I know where Nita's staying, but it's not the same as me. I think it's one that I've been to, and I'm not saying where, purely because she's a celebrity, and if they come back again, they're going to choose a hotel. But I was following their Instagrams, and I found that some of the boys were out traveling, and I was like, oh my god, maybe I can find you, and I never did. But besides that, Ryan, Roxy, I know it's like, I'm not a stalker. Please don't put a restraining order against me. I just like being next to your bedroom window, okay guys? It's like 12 o'clock, I'm being weird, I know that. Nothing new. Anyway, so I saw Ryan Roxy's Instagram post, and this Instagram story is one that I've been trying to follow for weeks because I was like, if he's doing it for Brisbane, I'm going to get something. Anyway, he put a post up saying, if you want any of these, DM me and I'll tell you how to get it. And it was like a Ryan Roxy box set, which is a CD set, and a Ryan Roxy sweatbands. And I messaged him going, hey, how do I get one of these? And now I was like, okay, maybe I feel like I'm an idiot. Maybe I shouldn't have messaged, because he took a bit to get back to me. And when he replied, he was like, oh, sweet, are you going to the Brisbane show or is it a different show? And I said, I'm coming to Brisbane. And he's like, sweet, let me know when you're at the convention centre and we'll organise something. And like, though you have to pay for them, like the box set was $40 and the wristbands were $15. And I was like, sweet, I don't care. It's your crap, I'm paying for it anyway. And I didn't actually think I was talking to the real Ryan Roxy, which is why I'm pretty stunned. I thought I was talking to his assistant because some of the messages were like, hey, I'm Ryan's assistant, David. You know, I'm talking to you. When you get there, just message this account again and we'll organise something. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm just going to meet with the assistant. So I spent all afternoon messaging back and forth, trying to figure out what we're doing. And that was fine. And then I get to the convention centre, I message them saying, hey, I'm here, what do you want me to do now? And they're like, just wait, we're not there yet. And this is like a 5 o'clock. And I'm like, since when do bands not show up till later? Normally they're rehearsing around 5, right? So I was like, okay, fine, it's your show, it doesn't matter. Yeah, by 6:30, 7 o'clock, I get a message saying, hey, come meet me and I'll give you your stuff. And I was like, okay, sweet. Again, I thought it was the assistant coming to meet me, that I was going to meet Ryan Roxy's assistant and everything would be fine. No, I met Ryan Roxy himself. Like, excuse me? I'm sorry, what? Like, you, Ryan Roxy? Like, I was starstruck, but I was also nice about it. I went up to him, he was like, hi, how are you? And I was like, hi, I'm Laura. He's like, oh, yes. I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, oh, I've got to go to this other end and we can walk and talk. And I was like, yeah, sure. So he's like, here's your CDs. And I was like, here's your money. And then I started asking him how he's enjoying Australia, and he says, great. And then he said something about Alice Cooper. Oh no, I think it was me. I think I mentioned that this is my first Alice Cooper concert, and he just stopped. Like, he stopped walking, he stopped talking, and he just looked at me and he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. And he was like, how'd you hear about this? And I'm like, what, do you mean the concert or Alice? He goes, Alice. And I was like, I heard about Alice 10 years ago, back in 2009. He's like, oh my god, you're in for a treat. And yeah, it was great. And he even let me get a photo with him, and he signed it, my little box set, which I will show you. Where is it? So in the box set, this is the little box set, which is pre-signed, I guess. So that's all of his work on the back as well. And so you open it up, and he started opening it. He's like, oh, there's some things in there. He's like, I'll put a guitar pick in there because, you know, it's the sweet things. It's like the little things, whatever. So that's $1 billion baby pick with Ryan's signature. And so I was like, that's cool. I didn't want to lose it, so I kept it in my purse all night. And then inside, he signed it for me. I didn't even ask him to sign it for me. He just signed it. I actually haven't had a look inside of this yet. Oh, cool. My bad. Oh, so you got some band photos, which is cool. On a little what Alice thinks of Ryan. Oh, that's cool. Oh wow, that's cool. And then you've got like your booklets, which is everything. So it's funny, I never actually heard of Ryan Roxie prior to like Alice Cooper. So you got some of his albums, Dad's Porno Mag, whatever this one is, Peace, Love and Armageddon. I'm reading the back of these. Two Sides to Every Story and the Roxy tapes. So I'm actually going to check these out when I get home, which is going to be great. I won't be getting home until like, God knows what time tomorrow. Today? Yes, today. Oh, great. So that was great. I was really excited. So with the merch stand as well, I bought a bunch of stuff. I took some photos of what the merch was because I was like, I really want to see what merch is. Google's not helping me. And if I look on Alice Cooper's website, it's not helping me. I want to know what merch is, which is thankfully Ted Denety, the promoter, put some photos up of merch. I was like, sweet, I can budget this. He had teddy bears, he had bandanas, stubby collars, shirts. Airborne had some stuff, which is one of the opening acts. I have vinyls, drumsticks, and keyrings. I got what I always get, which is tourist shirts. I got 5. And when I said to the lady, I want to get the tourist shirts, I was like, can I get all the tourist shirts? And she's like, which one do you want? I'm like, I want all of those black ones. Because he had like 2 white shirts. And one of them had the eyes around the boobs. And I was like, like, it's a white shirt with just the eyes. It's gonna not be great, one, because eyes are on boobs, which means more people are gonna stare at my chest. And 2, it's a white shirt, and I know what I'm like when I wash clothes, and the last thing I want is to spend $50 on a white shirt for it to be ruined. So he had 2 of those, which is similar. I think there was 2. I know there was definitely 1. Oh, he had some jumpers as well, but in the middle of summer. No thanks. Sorry, my phone's going off. I can finally upload photos. Free internet, yeah. Anyway, so back to the band shirt. So I got 5. I got some random ones. So there's this one with the tour dates on them. They all have tour dates on them. Oh. Well, oh yes it does. I was like, why doesn't he not have Australia? But he does. Australia's just at the beginning. Normally Australia's at the bottom because it's Australia. This one. That one's his old Black Eyes is Tora's back. I know they're kind of, on the back they're all kind of the same, but it's the front that I care more about because the front is way more interesting. There's a Poison one, and then on the back it says, running through my veins, I don't want to break these chains, which is a Poison lyric. And the final one, that's the back of it, and the front of it. I actually like these designs. I think Ellis comes up with pretty interesting tourist shirts. Like a lot of his merchandise, none of it's boring, it's all quite interesting, which is weird for a man who's in his 70s to still have interesting merchandise. Like normally when you're in your 70s, you're just like, but yeah, so he had 2 opening acts. He had MC50, which I didn't really enjoy, but maybe because I feel like a child when I listen to them, and they feel more directed to the older fans, but it made me uncomfortable, and I was like, I'm just sitting here scrolling through social media because why not? And then Airborne came on. Airborne reminds me a mix of Metallica and Green Day. And I feel like that's a good thing because I like both those bands. But I don't know. I know one of the members of Airborne decided to run through the crowd, and security was chasing after him, and they were like, "What? Wait, hold on, what?" So that was quite funny. Sorry, I haven't had water since like 4 p.m. yesterday because they chucked my water bottle out. Stupid security. Sorry. Turns out when you go to convention centers, they chuck water bottles out. Lucky this one stayed at the hotel, but my plastic one, you're contributing to the environmental issues, man. I was gonna refill it anyway. Anyway, so Airborne was quite interesting, and then so MC50 was on at 7:30, Airborne was 8:30, and then Alice didn't come on. I think he was supposed to come on at 9, but he didn't come on until about 9:30 or just before 9:30. It was interesting. Now, like I said, I've seen Alice perform live on TV and then online, but this way was different. I don't know, maybe it's because of where I was sitting, and where I was sitting, my view was kind of blocked, which is really, really great when you paid $180 for a ticket and to have your view blocked, which I cried because I missed some of it. But he started, I don't know, for me it felt really quick. I think he started with the, buckle in, you're in for a ride, you have no time to escape sort of deal. And then it goes into, I think it was Feed My Frankenstein, and then it just led into like Poison and Dead Babies and Black Widow and, God, now I can't even think. Dead Babies, Poison, Black Widow, $1 Billion Babies, Roses on White Lace, which I absolutely love. That's my favorite song. Teenage Frankenstein, Feed My Frankenstein. I did that one. School's Out, another brick in the wall. There's a couple more. I know I'm missing a couple. I think there was like 3 different solos. There was a drum solo, and then there was Chuck Garrett's solo, and then Nita did a solo, and then I think they did a group solo, so maybe 4 solos. It was kind of hard to tell because it just kind of all merged in one, and you had no time to just stop and think. I do have plenty of photos and plenty of videos, but we'll see whether I upload them on YouTube or not. It's a different story. Yeah. But it was quite interesting, like, because where I was sitting, I could see backstage. And so when they were demolishing the set from Airborne, because you had to go from Airborne to Alice, I was watching them, change Airborne and put Alice up, but they put a sheet in front. So they had Alice's eyes in front of the stage in the curtain, which normally means you can't see what's going to happen backstage because they want you to be in shock. But I could see them doing this. I was watching them put the chandeliers up, decorate the set, put the stairs up, put this like castle up. And I was like, this is so cool. Like, oh my God. But then it also made me realize, watching the roadies, it made me realize why I suck at camera and lighting and sound. Because I'm studying a film and TV course. I'm watching these roadies do things in like 2 seconds flat, and they're just on the ball, and I'm sitting there going, I couldn't even do that in like a 4-hour lesson. How the hell are you guys doing that? Like, you're doing your overs and unders with your chords, and then you're like just moving things out. And I'm like, I was taught for 14 weeks, 4 hours a week, and I still don't know how to do any of that. And that was two tries. So what, 14 is what, 28 weeks with 4 lessons, 4 hours a week. Like, I still didn't learn. This because I suck at this stuff. Pardon me. But he also had some pretty cool stuff out. When he did Dead Babies, Cheryl came out and she was dressed in this Crimson Peak inspired costume. And I say that because I don't know how to explain it. It looks like something you would have watched out of Crimson Peak, the Guillermo del Toro one, the one that had Tom Hiddleston in it. She was wearing something like out of that. So she was pretty cool. So when they did Dead Baby, she pushed out a baby with the pram, and and stuff like that. There was like an inflatable baby, which was weird to see. There was the Frankenstein, which was cool to see. I think Frankenstein came out twice. Feed My Frankenstein and Teenage Frankenstein, he came out twice. Cheryl came out a few times. They did the guillotine, but I got really annoyed because of the way the stage was and where I was sitting. Some of the stuff was actually blocking my view, so when they did the guillotine, I was like, no, I can't see you. It would have been nice if I could, but no. But that was still interesting. Now, they didn't do Nurse Rosetta. I was kind of expecting that, but they did a few other cool things. They did He's Back behind the mask, and I was like, oh my god, and they brought out like the song that was inspired by that character, or the character that inspired the song. I don't know, I'm not familiar with horror, so don't blame me, but that was pretty cool to see. And then at the end, and see, this is why I think Alice is a child. At the end, when they do Schools Out, they obviously bring out a bunch of props. I think he's a child because there was bubbles, and I was like, you're 72 years old. There is bubbles on your set, and you're insane. Like, it's great, but really? And then there was also the big giant balloons with glitter that he threw out into the crowd, but most of the time he ended up just popping, and there were streamers, and it was great, and fake Alice money was being thrown out. So that was great, but I didn't get to catch any of that because of where I sit, and I was sitting up in the nosebleeds, is that what it's called? I don't know. Up the back. But you know, everybody, I think the best way to describe this show is everybody was like children. And I'm not even kidding. Watching Ryan and Nita and Chuck and Glenn, when Alice wasn't on stage, they were like children demanding your attention. They're like, look at me, I'm better than this one. No, look at me, I'm better than that. Look at me, no, look at me, no, look at me. And it was like you were just trying to have like 10 different set of eyes because you were just watching what everyone does, and they were all doing different things at different like the same time, and it was so cool to watch. And then when Alice came on, it felt like children in a candy store. It was amazing because obviously their energy bounces off each other, so you've got the band bouncing off each other and having fun, and then there's Alice who's being Alice, and it's like he's trying to join in but he's keeping his persona up. And it actually turns into like this weird cool thing. Like, it's like, Dad's told you can go play now, but you still want to show off to Dad. But Dad wants to do his own thing, and somehow it integrates with yours, and it just turns into this weird madness that is so cool. I think while I was watching it, I was like, it's like Dad said you could go to a candy store and pick anything you want, and you just can't decide, so in the end he just buys the whole damn store for you. And Alice is just like, even though Alice is the dad, he's also trying to be the child as well, and it's so cool to see that. I thought it was so great. And I think Amber makes an appearance. I don't know her last name, I'm sorry, but she's Shep Gordon's, she's related to Shep Gordon, I think, somehow. But I know I think she was there because they did a weird moment where girls would come up on stage and start taking photos and selfies, and I was like, what? But turns out it was a skit, and I was like, oh, cool. But that was pretty cool. Sorry, what time is it now? Oh, it's almost 12:30. Holy crap. But you know, I think for my first experience for an Alice Cooper concert, it was great. It was fantastic. I loved it. I've learnt now to get a better seats because sitting on the side where you can see a half backstage, half front stage really ruins the illusion, because you want it to be in awe when you see the stage, but then you also want to see how everything plays out. Like the guillotine scene, I missed that out because of all these speakers in my way, and I was like, no, it's the one thing that I like watching. Why? So I've learnt now to sit somewhere else. But I've also found that I can also sit in the mosh pit because mosh pit has chairs. Which is weird because mosh pits never have chairs. But Alice Cooper's mosh pit had chairs. So I'm going to keep that a note for next time. If Alice does come back to Australia, I'm definitely buying a ticket because I've now figured out how to get to the entertainment centre. Yay! Ryan, Nita, Chuck, I'm trying to remember, I think Tommy and Glenn as well. They all have solo careers as well because Chuck's got Vista Blanca and Nita's got her guitar stuff. Ryan's obviously got his music, and I think Tommy and Glenn have something, but I'm not sure, I'm not too familiar. But you know, I would love for them to do a solo tour as well. I would love to see them away from the Alice image and just show me what they've got, because I reckon it'd be cool. I follow Bisto Blanco and that band's cool as well. It's like, I know Alice is with Hollywood Vampires, so I mean, it would be great even if to bring Hollywood Vampires out. Like if we love Alice, we're clearly gonna love Hollywood Vampires, and you know, it's gonna be like an epic thing to see. Like, come on. I would just have to remember better seating because I've never been there in a while, and normally my mum picks the seats, not me. Yeah, but no, it's absolutely great. My first concert's great, and I had a great experience, and it was fun. Weirdly enough, I didn't have any negatives. I think because the generation, there was such a range of generation. Like you had your seniors, well, she said boomers, and then your Gen Ys and Gen X's. I think Gen X's. I don't know. What did they have? I don't know. But there was like some children there as well. It was, and I say some, there wasn't a lot. I mean, like children are probably like over the age of 10. But it was just a great environment and a safe environment, and I loved it. I like being with the grown-ups. It shows how grown-up concerts can be. So, Alice, I hope you come back to Australia, please. I honestly can't say how much you and your music means to me. Like, literally, I think without your music, I probably would have been down a different path by now. So, I'm thankful that I finally got the chance to see you perform live. Hopefully one day I get the chance to meet you in person and tell you how much you really mean to me. And I don't mean that in a creepy way, I just mean I'm here because of you, so thank you. Actually, I have to thank my dance teacher from year 10 because she put me onto your music. Anyway, long story short, I have a thing on Instagram you can check out, links in the bio. But no, I hope Alice and his band come back to Australia. I hope Hollywood Vampires comes. I'm now rambling and I'm saying the same things. It's midnight, it's 12:30. Yeah, I have class in the morning. I don't want to go. I have to. I have an assignment due. Yeah, I think if you haven't experienced an Alice Cooper concert, you should definitely go experience one. And I get it that, you know, I understand that convention centers and entertainment centers are really hard to get to, especially if you don't have a car. And I understand that concerts can be really expensive, but honestly, seeing Alice's concert in person is 10 times more better than seeing it on TV or on the internet, because you actually get to experience it and you get to realize that there's so much going on that you don't know how to look, and that when there is a camera recording the show, I mean, like when we watch the DVDs and online, you start realizing how much is really on set. And I say on set because it literally feels like a film set. He brings his show out, he goes crazy, and it's like from start to finish a great little play, but you don't realize it because he covers it up with music, and it's amazing. Yeah. So yeah, go see Alice Cooper if you haven't, and if you have, go see him again because it's totally worth it. He's 72. I'm sorry, but what 72-year-old man still rocks out like that? I don't think there's any. My granddad's in his 60s. Last I heard he was 65. And I say last I heard because I don't really talk to my granddad. But anyway, last I heard my granddad's 65. And he's taking things slow. Alice Cooper is like several years older than my granddad. And this man's still rocking out. man, I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So now that I've rambled for like 30 plus minutes, I'm gonna go and turn this off now. I'm gonna take some photos of my merch, go try and sleep for a few hours before I have class, and yeah, what time is it now? Yeah, I've rambled for like 30 minutes. Yay! I've been up since like 4:40 yesterday. Yay, it's great. No, it's not. But yeah, no, like I say, go see Alice Cooper perform live if you haven't. It's absolutely fantastic. And don't forget to support his band as well, because those guys are amazing as well. I think without the band, even though Alice would still be great without the band, because it doesn't matter who he performs with, but these guys really make it magic, and they're fantastic, and they've got solo careers as well, so check out their solo career. They definitely deserve a lot more recognition than being just the band. Because you can tell that Alice cares about them way too much. And I mean that in a good way. Normally you see lead singers go, yeah, this is the band, and I don't care about them. Whereas Alice is like, this is the band, and these are the people that you need to care about. Not just me, these guys. Because without these guys, I wouldn't be sounding as good. You know, so yeah. Yeah, now I've rambled. Thank you for watching my video. I'm sorry it's so long. I ramble a lot, okay? It's just a thing I do. But you sat through it, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.